There are moments when you wake up, and the weight of yesterday is still sitting on your chest. The tasks you left undone, the conversations that ended in silence, the fears that waited for you in the dark, they all rise with the morning light. And yet, within those very moments, Scripture offers a hidden key. His mercies are new every morning. It doesn't say recycled or repeated or borrowed. It says new, which means that the sunrise itself carries with it a code of renewal, a divine reset waiting for you to claim. Gregg Braden often reminds us that the field of energy we live in responds to what we bring into it. If you awaken with despair, the field reflects despair. If you awaken with gratitude, the field mirrors gratitude. That is the forbidden truth hidden in plain sight. Your consciousness writes the script for the day before it unfolds. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a busy street, cars rushing past, noise rising from every corner. In that chaos, you decide to pause, close your eyes, and breathe. Suddenly the noise is still there, but it no longer controls you. Instead, you notice the rhythm of your breath, the steady beat of your heart, and the faint whisper of clarity that emerges when you choose to center yourself. That is consciousness in action. That is science meeting spirit. Studies in quantum observation show that the observer changes the outcome of what is observed. In daily life, that means the way you wake up and choose to see the world is not passive. It shapes reality itself. Gregg Braden explains that the heart's electromagnetic field is 60 times stronger than the brain's. This is not poetry. This is measurement. It means that your emotional state radiates into the environment around you, influencing not just your body, but the very coherence of people near you. Have you ever entered a room where no one spoke, but you could feel the tension thick in the air? Or walked into another place where peace seemed to hug you before anyone said a word? That is the science of presence. That is the energy of the heart creating resonance in the field. Now pause and think. What are you carrying today? Anxiety? Fear? Or maybe hope, even if fragile? This is not about denying reality. It is about recognizing the power you hold to tune the frequency you broadcast. You are like an instrument in a vast orchestra, and your choice of vibration matters. If you have ever thought of yourself as small, powerless, or invisible, remember this: your field cannot be silenced. It radiates whether you intend it or not. The question is, what will you choose to radiate today? If this is making sense to you, whisper it now, even quietly to yourself. I choose coherence. Writing it in the comments may seem simple, but it is an act of aligning intention with action. And when thousands do the same, we don't just change algorithms, we change the collective field itself. Consider the experiments of group meditation in cities plagued with violence. Researchers observed significant drops in crime rates during the periods where large numbers of participants held sustained states of compassion and peace. Traditional science struggled to explain it, but the evidence stood firm. Collective consciousness alters collective outcomes. That is why this truth feels so forbidden, because once humanity fully embraces it, manipulation by fear becomes obsolete. You are not meant to be a victim of the system. You are designed to be a participant in creation. Picture yourself in a heated argument, emotions sharp like knives. Then, for a moment, you remember to breathe. You soften your tone, and suddenly the tension diffuses. That shift is not only psychological, it is energetic. The magnetic field of your heart recalibrates, and in doing so, alters the invisible dialogue between your field and theirs. This is why Gregg Braden emphasizes coherence of the heart. It is not just about self-regulation. It is about transforming interaction, culture, and ultimately, the world we inhabit. Think of the countless inventions that appeared simultaneously in different corners of the globe. The telephone, the light bulb, the airplane. How is it that humans separated by oceans arrived at the same breakthroughs within days or weeks of one another? The answer is not theft or coincidence. It is the collective field transmitting possibility. Just as seeds sprout across a meadow when the season turns, ideas sprout across humanity when the field ripens. And each of us contributes to that field, whether consciously or unconsciously. Now ask yourself, if your consciousness is truly part of this global web, what are you contributing to it right now? Are you feeding the cycle of fear? Or are you daring to send ripples of peace, creativity, and trust? You do not need a stage or a platform. You simply need awareness. Every silent prayer, every moment of gratitude, every intentional breath matters. So as you listen to these words, let them settle deeper than thought. Let them become a practice. Tomorrow, when you wake, resist the urge to reach first for the phone, the news, or the endless notifications. Instead, place your hand over your heart, breathe 3 slow breaths, and declare softly, "Today, I choose coherence." That declaration is more than symbolic. It is science applied to spirit, turning intention into electromagnetic reality. And if you feel resonance with this message, share it. Not because algorithms demand it, but because someone you know is waiting for this reminder. Maybe they are drowning in anxiety. Maybe they are desperate for hope. Your share may be the signal they need to remember they are not powerless. Together, we create resonance. Together, we activate the field. The silence of the morning, the pause before the rush, the stillness in your heart. That is where transformation begins. And it begins with you. Right now, there is a sacred moment, hidden in the rhythm of every day, when silence speaks louder than any noise. It is the instant when you realize you are not simply drifting through time, you are shaping it. And this is where the science Gregg Braden unveils becomes a revelation. Time is not linear, and consciousness is not passive. Together, they weave a code that waits for you to awaken and use it. Think about the mornings when you've woken with dread, already defeated before the day begins. Compare that to mornings when you've woken with a quiet trust, as if unseen hands were holding you. The difference was not luck, nor random chance. The difference was the field you chose to connect to. Every dawn is an invitation to collapse into fear or to expand into coherence. And when you choose coherence, you are not just shifting your mood, you are tuning your reality. Gregg Braden often reminds us that the heart is not just a pump, it is a compass. It signals alignment, guides decision, and radiates truth. Ancient traditions called this wisdom intuition, but modern science calls it neurocardiology. The discovery that the heart has its own neurons, its own intelligence, influencing perception and behavior. This means the wisdom of your life is not limited to thought. It is carried in rhythm, in pulse, in energy. And when the heart and mind agree, when they beat in coherence, the field around you transforms. This is not abstract philosophy, it is measured fact. Your electromagnetic signature shifts, and others feel it, even if they cannot explain it. That is why one calm soul can diffuse a room of chaos, and one radiant spirit can ignite hope in those who had none left. If this resonates with you, take a moment right now. Write in the comments, "I choose coherence today." This is not just interaction, it is alignment. Every word typed becomes a declaration. Every declaration becomes vibration, and every vibration joins the chorus of a humanity waking up. Do not underestimate the power of a simple sentence written with intention. Picture this. You are standing at the threshold of your front door, about to step into a day filled with uncertainty. You pause, close your eyes, breathe, and place your hand over your heart. In that silence, you remember. The field responds not to fear, but to coherence. And as you walk out, you are not alone. The collective heartbeat of thousands choosing coherence alongside you walks with you. That is the invisible church. That is the living network. That is humanity awakening. Gregg Braden calls this the moment of transformation, when individuals awaken to their role as creators within the field, not prisoners of circumstance. It is a forbidden truth because it threatens the foundations of control. But for you, it is liberation. You are not powerless. You are the resonance. Now imagine what happens when this awakening multiplies. Cities change. Nations shift. The story of humanity bends toward compassion instead of fear. It is not fantasy. It is the law of resonance. And it begins not with governments or systems, but with one choice. You, here, now, choosing coherence. So here is your step, simple and real. Tomorrow morning before the world floods in, breathe 3 times and declare, "Today, I walk in coherence." Feel the shift. Watch how conversations, decisions, and even your inner state unfold differently. This is the science of transformation applied to the art of living. If this truth has spoken to you, let it not stop here. Subscribe so this awakening continues to grow in you. Share this video with someone you thought of while listening, because the field may have put their name on your heart for a reason. And right below, "I believe." Those 2 words will join thousands, creating a wave of intention no algorithm can suppress. Remember this as you step into your day. Silence is not absence. It is presence amplified. And when you align with it, time itself bends toward your intention. This is not the end of a video. This is the beginning of a practice. The field is alive, the heart is listening, and the choice is yours. If this message touched you, leave your comment now. I believe. Let's build a chain of light across the digital world, one voice, one heart at a time. And don't forget to subscribe, because tomorrow we awaken again together.